Agnyasya vignasya cha vishwamasti.
Agnyasya vignasya cha vishwamasti.
Purvasya drishyam jagadeva satyam.
Purvasya drishyam jagadeva satyam.
Parasya drishyashraya bhutamekam.
Parasya dushrashraya bhutamekam.
Satyam prapurnam prabhibhatya rupam.
Satyam prapurnam
Prabhibhatya rupam. Agnyasya vignasya cha vishwamasti. Purnasya drishyam jagadeva satyam. Parasya
dushrasya bhutamekam. Satyam
prapurnam prabhibhatya rupam.
In the last sloka where the jnani and ajnani, dehatma bhavaha, there is a sloka by Swami Tejomayanji. Those who attended Jnanasara, he gave, I think, for as a jna. The very first sloka is on this. Dehatma bhavo vishayeshu ragaha kartrusva bhavat katrutva bhavatsya tadaiva karmasu. That's now my age is coming. Dehatma bhavo vishayeshu ragaha katrutva bhavasya tadaiva karmasu. Satyatta buddhi jagadiha yasya sadeva baddha purushasya satchi. He defines what is the bondage. Dehatma bhavam is there. But deham is aham, as completely as I am, is the notion that I am the body, is the bondage. There is no other bondage other than that. And here, in this next sloka that we are chanting, the other part is also discussed. Agnyasya vignasya cha vishwamasti. For agnyasya means ignorant person, vignasya for the jnani. For both of them, Vishwam asti, the world is. So it is not that from the point of what is the vision of a jnani, jnani doesn't see anything different from what you are seeing. But his understanding will be different only. Because he also sees the world, and therefore he is different, she is different, all differences that are associated with the world, because the world is different, each one is different, that's what the transaction is. So that varieties will still be there. So jnani in that sense will not be different from ajnani. This is a statement by Ramana. But Ramana Maharshi students think differently also. So you have to be careful what a jnani does and what a ajnani means. He says jnani means he has gone. And everything is only, ajnani's point is only he is acting like, appears to be from the ajnani point, but jnani is not there. That's also valid, true, because jnani, from the understanding wise, but physically they think there is no more jnani. But there is no jnani, there won't be any teacher left for us. Because if ajnani only will be teaching, if ajnani is only projecting a jnani there, that's what the understanding is. That means from the ajnani point there is a jnani and he is teaching. And real jnani has gone. So it's only perception of an ajnani that there is a teaching going on and all that. That's what the ajnani thinks. But if that is the case, if ajnani is going to project a jnani there and teaching also, what he can project? His ajnanam only he will project. So there is not that way. Ajnani, knowledge, all that is there. And thank God they are there, because that's how we are able to get benefit of the jnanis. And there won't be any Vedas or Vedantas and teachers and including any of that. What it is, his understanding is different. I do understand that fundamentally all particles are made of electrons, protons and neutrons. Right? Everyone, now we understand those are fundamental particles. But still, I don't just say, hey, everything is electrons, protons and neutrons, and I don't have the lack of discrimination between tea versus coffee and mixture versus non-mixture and food versus garbage. You think yes, everything is electrons, protons, neutrons only. Still, at transactional level, food is food and garbage is garbage. Jnani doesn't get mixed up. So Swami Paramarthananda says, if you don't see any differences outside, it is not jnanam. It's better go and consult ophthalmologist. You may have cataract problem. It is not. So differences is part of the universe. That is the variety or vibhuti of the Lord. A jnani will see, this is all Lord's vibhuti. Beauty of the Lord expressed in so many ways. If you look at Gitanjali, Gitanjali is by Rabindranath Tagore, right? Some of this sanghas, he picturizes the beauty of the creation itself. That's why you got a Nobel Prize. But that will, if you can tune your mind to that and see the beauty there, that expresses so beautifully. And that remains one of the Gitanjali sloka. He says, O Lord, I am begging as a beggar on the street. I want this, and all that. And you came with so compassion, and I was waiting for you. You came, and you asked me what I can give it to you. You were begging from me. And I wanted to beg from you so that I can get a lot more things. So I looked all over in my bag and gave one small corn to you. I had a lot of it, but I didn't want to lose all that. I just gave you one small corn. You were happy. You left. And in the night, I didn't get anything from you. When I went and looked at this one, I found one gold corn only. All other corns are regular corns, but only one corn which is gold. I cried. I could have given all this corn to you. Why am I saying all this? You give, you get what you give. Don't think that it's yours. You came into this world with nothing, not even clothes. And I can guarantee that you are going to leave this world without taking anything. There are other people waiting for you to make sure that you don't take it with you. You came with nothing, you are going to leave this world with nothing, and you think, yes, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Nothing really belongs to you. What we offer is, this is yours, O Lord, but I am offering it to you because I have the notion that this is mine. What I am offering is not this. This is because it's only yours. The whole universe is yours only. And you don't need this. But what I am offering is only my misunderstanding that this is mine. That is what I am offering. That notion of ownership is what I am offering there. So don't think, because my contribution to the world, because what I have, Gurudev has said, what I have is his gift to me. And you just don't take gifts, you have to return, by whenever people give gifts, and sometimes useless gifts, you store it for that you can give to other people, which you don't use it. You have to give it in return back. So what are you going to give? Everything is given to you in abundance, starting from a mother's milk when you are not able to do anything. Everything is provided, fruits, vegetables are his creation only. What is that I can give it to him? That's what the Gurudarshana comes into picture. Patram pushpam palam toyam yomai bhaktya prayachasi. What is bhakti? With bhakti, devotion, whatever you can give, that becomes his gift. Your gift to him. It should be proportional to what he has given to you. Right? But I don't know why it came. But here, ajnasya vignasya cha vishvam asti. The universe is there for both the jnani and ajnani. Purvasya means ajnasya, that means for ajnani, drusyam, jagadeva satyam, this world is real, that's all. Therefore his transaction is always, the world is real, this world, therefore whatever world is giving me is real. All the sufferings and all that goes on because I give reality to that which is not really real. That's only superficially real. And parasya means for jnani. The drusyasraya, bhutam ekam satyam prapurnam pravibhati. This is arupam. That for him, this whatever this drishya ashrayam, that which is the center where the seeing, everything is seen because of I am there. Without me, nothing can be seen. So whatever is seen is the world, the objects of my perceptual knowledge. That's all my life is. Only whatever I see or experience. Yeah. But I am none of them. I am the ashrayam for all of them. The druk, the one that is the seer itself. And that is ekam, that is one alone, because everything is only apparent. And that is the reality, that is Purnam, that is that Pravibhati, that shines everywhere, and that is formless, that means it is infiniteness, and that becomes his knowledge. So Jnani, what does he do? He has an understanding, that means he has a visa, essentially, in two fields. One, he can put a leg there in the Paramarthika Satyam. So what is Paramarthika Satyam? Means that absolute reality, I am the totality itself. At the same time, he transacts as if he is individual also. That's why he could teach and he could communicate and he can transact and he can uplift the society so that the society can behave properly. And therefore all Mahatmas, including Ramana Maharshi, and those are the people who really serve the society because there is nothing to gain from the society. And generations to come will get benefited by their actions. All other people, this is, I am serving, so I have been serving Chinmaya Mission so long, what did it do to me? Say, if something has to do it to you, that means you are expecting something in return, that's not service. You are only transacting, right? I love you so much, honey, but you don't love me. If I had love and this is a transactional love. That's not love. Love means I love absolutely, irrespective of whether you love me or not. If that is the case, that's what one who is full with love. He doesn't need anything else in love. So that becomes a vision, that becomes the reality for him, and he can live in that state of understanding, at the same time transact in the world using the equipments that are available. And then since they are available, there is nothing for him to gain, therefore he can use only for loka kalyanam, for the benefit of the society only, whatever he does. Yogaratova, bhogaratova, sangaratova, sangavihina. Yajyad brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati nandacheva. He may be yogi sitting in the Himalayas. Even meditating on the totality itself is the benefit to the society. He may be a bhogi like downtown, like everyone else, but he may be reveling there. Sangaratova, Sangavihina. He may be with the group, or there will not be any group at all. He may be all alone. It is not what he does, where he is, nothing counts. Where his mind is, Nandati, Nandati, Nandati. Reveling and reveling. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushta. The one who is reveling in himself, he is the one who is a Jnani. In spite of changing things. Even the changing things is only by glory only. It becomes Atma Rati and Atma Krida. Krida means playing. When I am playing with myself in varieties of forms itself. At the same time, when I am sitting in the meditation and I am reveling in myself also. Both is possible. So transactionally, they are the best transactor because there is nothing psychological problems there. Problems are there to be solved. So they will put maximum effort and therefore their sankalpas are the best and it has to happen. Because the whole universe is sankalpam through him only. In his mind, through his mind. I don't want to get into a lot of stories I can tell about Gurudev, but we had to I did mention in the last camp, some of the incidents of what happened at the center and all that. Those who attended the camp we had. That also reminds me that we have a camp coming up. Similar to this, and there is a Hamsa Gita by Swami Ishwaranji. I myself going to attend this, even though my wife will be asking me to do all other things. Honeydews are there. But this is He's a very beautiful speaker also, a lovely speaker. And Ishwarananda, I recommend everyone to attend. This Hamsa Gita comes from the Bhagavatam. And another one also, Mukundamala. Mukundamala is by Kulashekar Alvar. And it's one of the important for a lot of Vaishnavis. Most beautiful expression of bhakti is there in that. We'll talk about a little bit more when it comes again. But this is the vision of Jnani versus Ajnani. Let's go to the next.
Vide prayatnasya cha kopi vadaha tayor moolam ajanatam syat janatam Vide prayatnasya cha moolavastu sanjanatam naiva vidirnayatnaha naha vide prayatnasya cha kopi vadaha tayor moolam ajanatam syat Vide prayatnasya cha moolavastu sanjanatam naiva vidirnayatnaha.
This text is quite deep text. It may not be possible that I may cover all the slokas. Since you have not paid registration fee, there is no guarantee for me, right? I don't want to skip the essence of it because we need to understand it. Understanding to me is more important than covering a text. So if you understand even few slokas, not all the slokas, we have done our part best. Okay, so don't worry about finishing the text and all that. I'm not worried about it. We have to make sure it is clear understanding that's more important than completing 44 slokas. Okay, so here the discussion is shifted now, where we talked about the Jnani and Ajnani, what's the differences. Then the Saddarsanam is a composite of slokas, not with a central flow. It is joined together at different times, if you see as it is, but essentially related on Saddarsanam aspect. Now here he's asking the question, people have discussions about fate and free will. There's a lot of discussions, universal discussion goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And Swami Chinmayananda gives in a very beautiful, condensed way. What I have is prarabdha. What I do with what I have is purushartha. That's free will. So the whole cycle is what is prarabdha, what is fate. Here he called videhi, it's the first sentence. Videhi prayatnam. Prayatnam means a free will. So videhi prayatnam cha kopi vadaha, all debates, that is endless, eternal debates that goes on. So what is fate? What I am facing now is a fate, right? But because of that, it is a result of my previous actions. It can be in this life or it can be past lives or lives past, all that. Total sanchita karma is driving me into whatever I brought as a prarabdha karma. Then I do something here as a agami, whatever karma, back into, deposited into the accounts. And all that is, this explanations are there. But right now, I am seeing what it is. This is my fate that I have to be here. Whatever the fate, it need not be good or bad. It is what I have is fate. It is result. So, is it fate final or is it the free will is a final? That keeps people out. Say free will, I have a choice. Every time as a human being, I have a choice to act. To do or not to do. To attend or not to attend. To talk or not to talk. All choices are given to me at this time. Once I exercise choice, that's gone. Once I have a stone in my hand, I can throw this side, I can throw that side, I can top and I can throw up and pray that it doesn't fall on my head. Right? All choices are given to me. But once I throw it, It is the fate of yours, So I throw the stone. There is nothing I can do, because once the stone has gone, the trajectory, the path, and all are determined by the gravitational forces, the frictional forces, all that. And suddenly somebody comes in between me and the object where I want to hit. It may not hit there, it may hit her, right? Or him, depending upon whom I want to hit. That is only that's called action. I can shout, say, oh bad, the stone is coming. That's called prayaschitta karma. You understand how prayaschitta karma? Prayaschitta karma is an action to repair the previous action, to reduce the results of previous action. That's all prayaschitta is. Whether she will listen to me and then go out of that is her choice. Or her fate, whatever that comes. So every time that you see there is a fate and free will keep coming together, and what I have is always fate, what I do and then what I am going to get in the future is the past fate modified by my present action, as far as human beings are concerned, because I have choice. So what is the original one, the first, what was that decided for me to bring? That was my fate. Why am I here? Because of my fate, right? My prarabdham got me here. Now I have free will. So what is the first one? People argue, oh, that's because all fate only. In fact, what you are going to do is determined by your fate. You think you have free will, but it's only because of fate. So other fellow says, no, what I had at that time was, I had free will at that time. When I did at that time, in that, I had a free will. Therefore, I acted like that. Now it is fate. It has become an action. So I had the free will. So, but you had the free will because you are acting because of the fate of previous one. So where is the end? There is no end, because this is the same thing as when did the first vasana come. You remember my Swamiji asked me to put it in my pocket and asked to meet the Brahman and tell, because it is beginningless. This cycle of karma is beginningless, because the karma that I am a doer become because of ignorance of divisionlessness. Remember? All that. Therefore, ignorance is, I said, ignorance is beginningless. Therefore, this fate and free will are only two sides of the coin. You always have these two, because I have to deal with any situation at any time, and the situation is the fate, and what I am doing is my free will at that time. That does not mean it's going to be my fate whether I am going to attend or not. It's not that way. I have to exercise as a human being a choice, a value system. Yesterday someone was asked, what is the right value? Right value is what that takes me towards the higher knowledge. So I may be a prisoner of my fate from the past, but also I can steer my ship towards the higher. Just for information, what I am going to do now has a more bearing for the results than what I did 10 years ago. What I eat right now will have more bearing on the stomach than what I ate 10 years ago, right? Although all the 10 years ago, what all the fat and all the timber accumulated has an effect. Not that it doesn't have an effect. It does have an effect in increasing my cholesterol, all those things. It has an effect. But what I do now becomes a more bearing in terms of next results. In the same way, what I do as in terms of trying to turn my attention to the higher, in spite of what my past was, without worrying about my past, I may be so bad, doesn't matter. What I am, how I direct my mind is most important, and that is going to determine your next. That factor, percentage of, this plus this percentage plus this percentage of what you are doing has a more important than the other ones. That's why all the sanchita karma can be wiped out once you realize. Once you realize that I am no more a doer, where does it belong? It only belongs to a doer. All the karmas belongs to a doer. Once I am this, I am never a doer. Not only now, I am never a doer. I only mistook. I gave an example in my class. So one fellow, a villager sitting in the train, and he wanted to help the train. So he had a big box. He says, so many people are carrying big. How can the train carry? Let me carry that box on my head as he was sitting in the train. Say, what a fellow you are, put it down. Say, no, I want to help the train. So like that, we are carrying all that garbage on our head unnecessarily, right? If you put it down, relax and enjoy, that's exactly what a jnani does. All that sanchita karma will have no bearing once I have recognized that the highest reality. Akartaham, abhoktaham, hami vaham avya. I am never a doer nor an enjoyer once I established in that state. And Krishna, who has married how many? And if you go to the temple, they do Ashtotra Nama. So he says he's a Sada Brahmachari Namaha. He says he is eternal Brahmachari. That's one of the namams for him, who has married so many, but means he never married. Although he has a lot of wives, he never married. That means I am never a doer. Okay, that is an understanding here. So vide prayatnasya kopi vadaha tayor dvayor moolam ajanatamsya. Only those who do not know the basis for both of them, the fate and the free will, there is a bottom line that I am there, that is the moolam, the adharam, the source. Without knowing that, all the discussions about this fate and free will is just useless discussion. So don't ever get involved into these useless discussions without being at least first pay attention to the bottom line. Because in America everything wants to know bottom line, right? So bottom line is you are the bottom line. That ajanataha, moolam ajanata, the ones who do not know, there is tayor dvayor moolam, the basis for both of them, without knowing it, all that is just vadaha, means it's only noise here. Vide prayatnasya mulavastu sajanata naiva vidhi na yatnaha. So for those who understand what is the fundamental basis of that I am, which is existent consciousness that I am, I have nothing to do with any of this anatma, which is part of this free will and fate and all that karma and all that are only superficial entities. I never do anything at all. In my presence, Prakriti does. Prakrutyevacha karmani kriyamanani sarvasaha yah pasyati tadatmanam akartaram sa pasyati. Prakriti itself does all the actions by itself. I am only akarta, I am only non-doer while things are getting done. There I am not responsible. It's only, how does Jnani does? He is not responsible for what he is doing. No, it is response to the stimulus. Those who know a little bit of physics, when I perturb the system will respond. That's called Chatelier principle, in the chemistry or something. If I make a perturbation to the system, the rest of this universe respond to me, then I can respond again, the universe again respond. This action-reactions goes on all the time, eternally. But I am nothing to do with all this. It's only drama that can go on. Once who understood it, he can enjoy the tamasha. Why doesn't everything stop? There is no fun in that. Right? But then only it becomes a leela. It becomes from that understanding. The play, it becomes play only if I can stand apart as a witnessing consciousness, witnessing the whole drama. So the discussion of vidhi, fate, has no meaning unless you understand the bottom line that I am the conscious existent entity who has nothing to do with the fate and free will. They are all just drama that's going on externally. Go ahead.
Yadi shitur वीक्षणमीक्षितारम्
यदीक्षितुर्वीक्षणमीक्षितारम्
अवीक्ष्य तन्मानसिके क्षणं स्यात्
अवीक्ष्य तन्मानसिके क्षणं स्यात्
न दृष्टुरन्यः परमोहितस्य
परमोहितस्य
वीक्षा स्वमूले प्रविलीय निष्ठा
वीक्षा स्वमूले
यदीक्षितुर्वीक्षणमीक्षितारम् अवीक्ष्य तन्मानसिके क्षणं स्यात् न दृष्टुरन्यः परमोहितस्य वीक्षा स्वमूले.
Then what about God? What about seeing the God? Remember we discussed a little bit about this God business also, the Ishvara. Ishvara, here Bhagavan says, Ichitaram avichya. Ichitara means the one who is want to see the Lord, the seer, longing to see the Lord, without seeing Him first. So Ichitaram avichya, without seeing the seer who wants to see the Lord. That means without seeing myself who I am and I want to see the Lord. Who is the seer? First look at who is this trying want to see the Lord. I want to see the Krishna, I want to see Lord, Shiva, all those people want to see Pratyaksha, I want to see vision of the Lord I want to have. Remember I told you, when you have the vision of the Lord, you only will have it, nobody else will have it. And when you are talking to Him, everybody thinks you are crazy because they can't hear you. They can't hear you. They can hear you, but they can't hear the Lord because they have not done the upasana. That becomes a problem because here Krishna, the Bhagavan says, I say Krishna is a Bhagavan, Ramana Maharshi says, Ichitaram avichya, without seeing the seer, yat ishitur vikshanam, that who wants to see the ishitur, the Lord, is Tan manasika ichhanam sya, the one who says, oh, I have seen the Lord and all that, all are visions only in your mind, the hallucinations in the mind. So that whatever each in the manasika vichanam means whatever I can imagine, I can see. I can really see. Even if you do upasana and Lord comes to you, you will see. But not that Lord has come to you and everybody can see. If Lord has really come to you, everybody should be able to see. No, you only can see. If I only can see and nobody else can see, what do you call that? Yeah, you are seeing all sorts of things which is not there. That's what you will tell him. So if I only can see and no one else can see, because my mind is able to see, because the mind is purified enough to see the Lord in that form that I have invoked Him to come here. So here the Swamiji used to, Swami Shantananda, he took this text. He told one fellow, Hanuman Bhakta, he had doing prayers to Hanuman every day, because Hanuman is very easy to please. So he was doing with all devotion to Hanuman Puja every day. Then he did so many years, nothing is happening. He wanted to see Hanuman. Nothing is happening. He says, this Hanuman is useless. Because I have been doing unless he doesn't even bother to me. And he didn't want to throw that Hanuman. So he put Hanuman in the corner. From now on, tomorrow onwards, I'm going to do puja on Shiva. Because he is Shiva, everybody says that very easy to please. Vishnu is very difficult. Shiva is very easy. So he brought... And Vishnu Bhaktas are even more difficult, looks like. So we put Hanuman further away and bring Shiva. And he was doing Shiva puja. And he was doing the agarbatti. And the smoke, the agarbatti smoke, it was going towards the Hanuman. So this man says, what is this? I'm doing Shiva puja and this man is getting the agarbatti is getting to this Hanuman. I don't want Hanuman to get, I want only Shiva to get, because Hanuman didn't do anything. So he took some cotton and tried to block the nose of Hanumanji so that he doesn't smell this agarbatti smell. Suddenly Hanuman came. Beta, what do you want? You are coming here now? When I was doing puja so many years, you didn't come. Now I am even putting cotton so that you don't smell this. Now you are appearing. What is this? Sveta, until now, you thought I am only an idol there. Now you are seeing that I am real person there, and therefore you are putting a cotton. Now you have realized the reality of myself there. Now I can appear, because until then I am only an idol for you. I can see the Lord in the form once I assume He is really real and do the upasana. But what is real? What is the Mula Vastu? Unless I know the reality correctly, then I have not seen the reality too. Even if the Lord comes here out of compassion, He has to only teach me what is real. What that comes and goes cannot be real. That's only apparent. Whatever real has to remain all the time. And if He has come, He has to go. Whatever comes has to go. He cannot be with you all the time. Right? Even if He comes. Therefore, that what is real, that always with you has to be there. If the Lord has to be there with you, He has to be always there. He is always there actually. Upadrashtanamanta bharta bhokta maheshwaraha. In the Bhagavad Gita, I am there right behind you. All you have to do is turn around and look at me. It is your mind you have to turn in backward. Then you will see me. Not that I am some. You are looking all over the place for me without looking where I am right now. And therefore, see, na drashtuhu anyaha, without knowing what is the seer who is trying to see, the basis of the seer itself, you are trying to see everywhere. Turn inwards. That itself is, in fact, is Ishvara Darshanam. Saddarsanam, Atma Darshanam, Eva, Ishvara Darshanam. There is no other Ishvara Darshanam. Oh, other people are claiming. Yes, they have Ishvara Darshanam, thank them. But if they have done, ask them to show you. He says, no, I saw them. I saw him, he came. Whenever you experience, you want again, longing for that experience again, and that will be a problem. You remember, I told you already what experience problem is. Knowledge will never go. Experiences will go. Knowledge that I am will never go once I have established in that. That is the real darshanam. So, vichya swamule praviliya nishtha says, na drushtananyaha paramohi tasya. That there is nothing other than which is paramam supreme, that I am the seer. This actually comes from the Kenopanishad and the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Kenopanishad, I told you slokas. Yat chakshusha na pasyati, yena chakshumsi pasyati, tadeva brahmatvam viddhi, nedam yadidam upasate, yasroti na srunoti, yena srotram idam srutam, tadeva brahmatvam viddhi, nedam yadidam upasate, yan manasa na manoti, yena manomahar. Okay, that which mind can I had going. Yes, manasa manamante na manomaham. Bye. Anyway, that which is the seer, that's from the Kenopanishad, that which I cannot think, but because of which I can think, that which I cannot see, because of which I could see, that which I cannot hear, because of which I could hear, that which is because I am alive itself, that is Brahman, not this that you worship, is the statements in the Kenopanishad. That's the first Upanishad I learned from Gurudev actually. That was the first one that changed my whole life itself. That's a beautiful Upanishad. And in the Brihadaranyaka also there is a conversation between Yajnavalkya and Gargi. Gargi is people think that females are not supposed to Veda. They are Veda drashtas themselves. Gargi is in the Janaka Mahamani. There are so many great saints, and she was one of them. And the Yajnavalkya, she challenges him, and the conversation between them is part of the Brihadaranyaka. Brihadaranyaka is, Yajnavalkya also teaches his wife Maitreyi also. Right? There's another one. But there, Adrushtam Drashtru, the one which cannot see is not God. Then what is God? The one who is seeing is the God. That one who cannot hear means you cannot hear about God. The one who is hearing is the God. There is no other God other than one who is behind you as a conscious, existent entity. That is God. That is the Ishvara Dharmam. Without knowing that Moolam, that which is Adharam for everything, you are trying to search for God everywhere else. First turn your mind, see God in you, then you will see God outside also. So first thing I suggest is everyone to recognize the presence of God in you as the first thing in the prayer. That's what Sandhya Vandanam means actually. First thing, as soon as I get up, feel the presence of God in you. And feel the presence of God, everyone, including, remember that neighbor? Including the neighbor also. Then your transactions will be different. Your mode of operation will be different. You deal objectively without psychological problems coming in. What need to be done, you will do. Ruthlessly but objectively. Provided I can see the Lord everywhere, I can play the game of life with Him. So I am become a full-time devotee. Therefore every action becomes a devoted action. I will be devoted husband. I will be devoted wife. I will be devoted employee. I will be devoted friend. Why? Devotion is there because the Lord is there. So actions will not change. In fact, I will do better actions that way, provided I recognize His presence everywhere. All the negative things will go away. So that's the beauty of Karma Yoga. That's what Karma Yoga really means. So looking at yourself is looking at the Lord. Yeah, go ahead.
आत्मानमीक्षेत परं प्रपश्येत्
आत्मानमीक्षेत परं प्रपश्येत्
इत्यागमोक्ते सुलभो न भावः नात्मैव दृश्यो यदि काकतेशे स्वयं तदन्नी भवनं तदीक्षा आत्मानमीक्षेत परं प्रपश्येत् इत्यागमोक्ते सुलभो न भावः नात्मैव दृश्यो यदि काकतेशे स्वयं तदन्नी भवनं तदीक्षा.
So extending the same thought here, says the scriptures people quote, and here is iti, means is a quotation from the scriptures essentially, or his version of the quotation of the scriptures is Atmanam icheta param prapasyet iti. This type of agama means the scriptures says, what it says is seeing yourself is seeing God. That's what scripture says. And people skip those pages and look for God elsewhere. That's what it says. We're trying to say, where does it says that seeing myself is seeing God? That's what is Agama means. The Vedas tell. And it is sold, but people are not paying a simple statement like that. People not paying attention to it. And where does it say? Those who attended the camp, Mundaka Upanishad, there is a sloka, and it says, Hiranmaye pare koshe virijam brahma nishkalam tat subram jyotisham jyotihi tadyad atma vido viduhu. The last line is tadyad atma vido viduhu. It says, tadyad, whatever that is, atma viduhu, the one who is a knower of the self, he is the knower of the Lord. It means here talking about the Lord, who is Hiranmaya, who is Hiranmaya is gold, right? Mayam is full of gold. Full of gold means that which gold means shining. Here the gold is shining. Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha means that which is brilliant is what it stands for. That means which is knowledge. Full of knowledge is we call brilliance. So Hiranmaya means that which is absolute knowledge, Jnanaswarupam. So Hiranmayi parokoshe virijam brahmanishkalam tat subram jyotisham jyotihi that which is brilliant, that which is light of all lights. These are qualifications of the Lord. And the vision or seeing of that Lord is seeing yourself. So that when you see myself, you are seeing the Lord. There is no other Lord other than yourself. That's what the whole statement. This comes from the Mundaka Upanishad, where the teaching starts with Tasminnu bhago vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. Oh Lord, please teach me that because of which I know everything in the world. If you see this, you have seen the whole world. What is that? If you know yourself, you know everything else. That's what the Brahman knowledge is. So, that agamas is sulabho na bhavaha. People, it's so simple statement, but people don't understand even simple statements. And they're looking for all over the place. So, the rest of it is essentially Vedanta says directly. So Ramana Maharshi is in fact referring to the Vedantic teaching only. People say you don't study, particularly some Brahmanas, disciples think that we don't need to study Vedanta, scriptures and all that. He himself is quoting Vedanta. So one has to, vichara has to be done through Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. There is no other way. Okay? So it's Atmaiva Drasyo, Yadika, Kathesha, all other stories in terms of I have to see this and all that, it doesn't make any sense. I am Swayam Tadanni Bhavanam Tadicha. So what is involved in the vision of the Lord is you have to eat yourself. Anni Bhavanam means, Annam is food, right? So you have to become food for yourself. So what does that mean? It means, remember, Ahankara, I notion involves two things. One is I am and this is. Right? All this is, you have to follow it. So that is what Anni means, eating away. This part, leaving I am alone. Swallowing means what? You're not physically swallowing. Negate I am not that. So when I am negating I am not that, then who is that? Then if you conceptualize, then I am not this, then I am something else. No, not something else. That also not that. That's also part of that. So I cannot keep negating and trying to conceptualize that I want to negate that, I want to negate that. It's not a drama of negation. I had to reaffirm in the negation what is that I am negating in the negation process. Otherwise I will be just negating something. And again I will be conceptualizing something and negating that. And getting lost in that. So what I am negating is not that as that, negating the attributes of that contains. Remember, every vritti, that thought contains the attributes plus the substantive, the existence, plus the illumination part, all that is there. I am not that is that which keeps changing, I am not that. The changeless one, I am. So, in the rejection is not a rejection of negation or absolute rejection. I am only rejecting the validity of the reality to that I see there as I am. Follow? In all the thoughts, I am only, not only thoughts are coming, I am identifying myself with the thought, I am this. I am this, that's what ahankara means. I am plus this. I am body. Body is this. Whatever I can point out is this. That's what idam. So whatever I can point out is this, that I am not this means I am not that. What is this? This is vritti or thought that contains existence with attributes of this. Right? That's what this, every thought is nothing but existence plus attributes. Part thought is part, existence is a thought plus attributes of the part. Because part is out there, not in my mind otherwise. So when I say I have part thought, I am seeing the part, but the vritti is there in my mind. In that vritti, I am superimposing the attributes of that are measured by the senses into that thought. So, when I say I am not this, I am only rejecting the superimposed attributes of idams. If that is and identifying that which is eternally present in all idams. That is existent and consciousness that I am. That's what rejection or means is. So the Anni Bhavana means I am swallowing, means I am negating what I am not. Those attributes do not belong to me. Attributes are gunas. Remember in the 14th chapter, all Prakriti has tamasic, rajasic, sattvic gunas are there. All, even sattvic gunas are also attributes. But I am Purushaha, different from the Prakriti that has gunas. Prakriti is what? Prakriti is Mayantu Prakritim Vidyat, Mainantu Maheshwaram. This is in the Svetasvatara Upanishad. It says Mayantu Prakriti. It's all nothing but Maya. And what is Maya? What is Yama Samaya? That which is not there but appears to be there is Maya. Maya is Prakriti, the Parameshwara Sakti. That which makes one into many. That force that makes one into many is Maya. Because any transformation requires a force. Energetics of the people who know, there is a transformation in the energy process, what called delta G or free energy change. To give spontaneously, you need free energy, negative. I don't want to get into chemistry here, but the change in the energy of the system is what transformation is. That how one become into many is Maya. Oh, I don't see Maya. Yes, you cannot see Maya, but you see the effects of one becoming into many. I don't see one becoming into many. Whenever you dream, one waking mind projecting into polarity of all idams are coming out, including one aham also there. All that one becoming into varieties is Maya. One gold becoming into varieties of ornaments, it's called transformationless transformation. In all physics, we have reversible transformation, irreversible transformations. This is a transformation. The way Vedanta has come to so beautiful, this is a transformationless transformation. There is no really transformation, yet there is transformation. Gold does not really become anything. Gold still remains a gold, but yet there is varieties and varieties of ornaments are there. That is Maya. Now you know what's Maya, right? And that is where we are, when we reject that Maya and ascertain, because Maya is not real, and take myself what is really real in these superficial things, that's only apparently real. Apparently real has a validity only in the transactional purposes. Like the carpet here, carpet is real at the transactional level. And if you really ask what is a carpet, I can keep on pulling each fiber, try to examine what is the carpet if I pull out and says, where is the carpet? Says, there was a carpet, you destroyed it. You have made it into all a pile up of fibers now. There is no carpet, it's only pile up of fibers. The validity of the carpet is gone anymore. It's only fibers. So what is a fiber? Let me look at fiber, and if you keep looking at it, I'll see all molecules only coming out. Polymer molecule chains. And what is a molecule? I keep on. Every time it's only a relatively varied in the particular environment. Carpet is real to sit around and to wash and to clean up also. All those things are important for in its level of reality. So Vyavaharika Satyam, there is no problem. But if I take it as absolutely real, there's a problem. In the same way, thoughts coming, objects are there, everything is there. But when I get carried away with those thoughts, then I get lost in the thoughts without and forgetting the bottom line for all these things. What's the bottom line? I am the one who is existing consciousness that is supporting all of those things too. That is the real vision too. So when the scripture says that the Atma Drishti is Paramatma Drishti, and even though it's a simplified statement, Tattvamasi and all that statements are coming in, we are not paying attention, we get carried away, and we just, of course, attend camps and read and all that and go back again. Unless we turn our attention, take this seriously to look exactly what really means. And this resolution of After eating away this, what remains is Tadanni Bhavanam. After that is the realization of self, that I am. So in principle, what is realization is not to gain anything, not to go anywhere, not to accomplish anything, just getting rid of all the things, that doesn't belong to you. Therefore, all superimpositions that are superimposing unnecessarily on our heads, we have to remove it and see what we are as they are. We are as all the time. Even Ajnana Kalayapi, I am Brahman only. Even when I am an ignorant person, I am really Brahman. But I do not know that I am Brahman. Only difference is that. And gaining that knowledge is the real understanding. Yeah, go ahead.
धिये प्रकाशं परमो वितीर्य
Dhiye prakasham paramo vitirya
स्वयं धियोऽन्तः प्रविभाति गुप्तः प्रविभाति धियं परावर्त्य धियोऽन्तरेऽत्र संयोजनान्येश्वरदृष्टिरन्या धिये प्रकाशं परमो वितीर्य स्वयं धियोऽन्तः प्रविभाति गुप्तः धियं परावर्त्य धियोऽन्तरेऽत्र संयोजनान्येश्वरदृष्टि.
So this is what I have been discussing to you in terms of what involves self-realization. And here says Dhiye. Dhiye means for the mind. So mind is required for self-realization. First understand that it's not out of mind. Mind is required for self-realization. Because Atma doesn't need to realize by itself. And mind itself doesn't realize also. Mind is inert thing. But mind is required for realization. So it is an instrument for realization. So mind doesn't illumine the self, but mind is required to turn my attention towards the self. Follow now? Mind itself is not going to put light on, says he himself is Swayam Bhati. There is nothing, Tatra Bhasa, Swayam, everything else shines. And there is nothing I can put light on the Lord by the mind. No. He himself is shining. But what his mind is required is to turn attention from outside, from the external, superficial, attributive knowledge, to turn inwards towards the substantial knowledge. Right? So mind is required to turn inwards to see. In order to see the truth behind every knowledge itself, I have knowledge of this, I have knowledge of this, I have knowledge itself. Everything is knowledge of. But what is that knowledge because of which I am knowledge of? That I need to see by the mind. So essentially, the mind has to turn inwards, looking at the light, that which is shining on everything that is being known or objectified. All knowns are inert. Every object that is known, if I say I know you, you are inert as far as I am concerned. Right? So every known, I am a knower who is the conscious entity, and known is unconscious entity. You are there, but what is there is only a thought in my mind. Remember, that is with all your attributes on my mind. So what I know is only attributive of what I think you are is what I know. I don't know what you are. People say, I understand you, we don't understand anybody else. What I know as you is what I attribute to knowledge that I have observed or gathered by understanding or misunderstanding, whatever I gathered and projected on the thought of what you are in my mind is what you are as I see. Right? Sentence may be complicated, but the statement is simple. So nobody knows, oh, you don't understand me. I mean, all those to understand. Nobody will understand anybody else. Everybody is playing the game of life that I am understanding everybody. I am understanding as I understand what you are, as I think what you are, not what you are. And you also do the same thing also. That's why all confusion and all this is because we don't transact with the realities anywhere. We transact with our apparent understanding of what you are, and hey, you did like that, and say, I didn't do like that, I was doing something else. Oh, this is what I understood. So that's your problem. So all misunderstandings are our understandings. The problem here is essentially in every understanding of the attributive knowledge is involved, plus there is other thing that shines for me to know that attributive knowledge. The consciousness is illumining as though those thoughts that are raising all the time, one after the other, and there is a continuously light that is projected all the time, and the thoughts are going one after the other. I'm getting carried away with those thoughts. Turn my attention, look at that, what is illumining each thought, because I cannot see this light. It's not an object for me to see the light. I can only see the reflected light that is coming out, just like I'm seeing reflected light from outside. I cannot see the sun. Look at the sun, my eyes will not go away, right? I cannot see the sun, but I can see the reflected light all over and say sun is shining all over. In the same way, I can see the reflected light from all the knowledges that are coming from every thought and a thought and a thought and a thought, and paying attention to the reflections that are coming from each thought and diving into that. He's going to tell in the next sloka, diving. That is self-knowledge. That is Ishvara Darshanam also. Now, how to see the light? How to see the sunlight? Can you please bring a torchlight for me so that I can see the light? I don't need a light to see the light. Because light is self-effulgent, it shines by itself, it is self-existing, self-effulgent, self-revealing also. So in the Atma Bodha, there's a sloka also where it says, the clouds are covering the sun. What is the sloka? Yeah, I can't hear it, but anyway. The clouds are covering the sun. Hey, I cannot see the sun. Why? Clouds are covering the sun. So I don't know whether the sun is there or not. Sun is not there, in fact, because I don't see him. How do you see the clouds? In the sunlight, of course. I am seeing the clouds in the presence of sunlight only, which covering the sun that I cannot see. So what should I do to see the sun? If the clouds move away, then I have to bring sun again. Sun shines by itself all the time, whether there are clouds or not clouds. I could even see the clouds because of the sun that I cannot see. Right? In fact, they come because of the sun only. The very clouds come because of the sun only. And that is the vision where it is self-shining, self-existing, self-effulgent, jyotir jyotihi. That's the light of all lights, because I can even see this light because of that light only. If that light is not there, you may be putting 100,000 watt bulb in front of me, I won't see you. If you're the dead body, there's nothing you can do. So that light which illumines even the darkness also, because when I go to pitch dark room, I'll say I can't see anything here. Right? That's what our statement. How do you know? Because it's too dark. How can you say that it's too dark? I can see what? That I cannot see. So, andho anando bhavati. A blind man is no more blind there. Because, say, sir, I am born blind, I cannot see anything. Really? Can you see that you are blind? Yes, I can see that I am blind. In what light are you seeing that you are blinding? If you are able to see, how can you say you are blind? That light of consciousness is ever shining all the time. There is no need another light to see. It reveals itself once I turn my attention to the reflecting light. So Atma realization is turning my mind inwards to every thought. If there is a thought, if the thoughtless is okay, thoughtless. If it is a specific thought, let it be specific thought. It's not the thoughts that bother me. It's not what the contents of the thought bother me. If I get carried away with those, then it will bother me. What is turning my attention to, because of which I am conscious of those thoughts that rise in me. And the world is pulsating in front of me. So I am never out of meditation if I am established in that knowledge. Follow? Because the light is always shining. Not that I have to sit in one place, let me not have this thought, that thought, then I will have another thought, not to have thoughts. I'll be busy with that. So it's not thoughtless state meditation, it is turning your attention to any thought that you can take, any disturbance even. How can anything can disturb you? Because even the disturbance you are able to conscious of. If I can sit, nothing can disturb you. That is meditation. Until you get established, as Krishna advises, have a good seat, have a place for worship, have a place for meditation. All that is required to get into that. Like a child, with the first step, my granddaughter will be doing that pretty soon. First step, you hold on, come beta, walk, until a time comes where I have to go after her. I have to chase. She'll be running all over the place. That initial steps for the mind to establish, to turn, you need. Okay, meditations. Afterwards, you will be in meditation all the time. Okay, let's see.
Na vakti deho hamiti prasuptau
Dideho hamiti prasuptau
na kopi na bhuvamiti pravakti yatrodite sarvamudeti tasya diyahamaha shodaya janmadesham na vakti deho hamiti prasuptau na kopi na bhuvamiti pravakti yatrodite sarvamudeti tasya diyahamaha shodaya janmadesham.
Here he's giving more details of what I said. So, namakti deham, dehaha aham iti. The body doesn't say I am. Right? Body, because body being jadatvad, because it is inert thing cannot talk about what it is. Oh, I am saying it. Who is saying? I, using the body, saying that I am the body. The mind is actually saying. If you are in the deep sleep state, you don't say anything. Body will not even respond, right? So, deha, na vakti, deha, ahamiti, bhakti. And in prasupta, in the deep sleep state, there is no communication at all. The body will not even communicate to you because it doesn't belong, it cannot even say because it is jadam. And nakopi na bhavam iti pravakti. So no one will say that when I am in the deep sleep state, I am not there. I do not exist. Because here, in the deep sleep state, the body doesn't say I am there or anything. Because body is jadam. And in the deep sleep state, no one will say that I am not there. Because in the morning I say I slept very well. Right? That make a declaration. So I was there in the deep sleep state so that I can sleep very well, comfortably. And in the morning only when I am saying that because I was there in the existence of myself in the deep sleep state is never questioned, because I know for guaranteed that I am going to be there in the deep sleep state. Otherwise people will not go to sleep. If they think that they are not going to be existing in the deep sleep state, nobody wants to sleep. Because they know comfortably they can exist, and they can exist without any other people's problems. That's why they can go comfortably, and they like to go to sleep also. And they don't like to get up also if it's too cold outside. So, because they are existing even in the sleep also. So, na kopi, no one here, na abhuvam iti pravakti. They will never say that I am not there in the deep sleep state. And all it is, this ahankara comes in between and say, I am here and I am not there. Yatra udeti. Where, what is this ahankara? Ahankara is I notion, where I am identified with this is, that ahankara, remember, two parts, aham, I am, the conscious part, anatma, the unconscious part, mixing a chow, a new entity as though is born out of this mixture, a pseudo guy, a third guy, mithya guy, coming in between, joining these two, and ruling all over us. So Atma, the hero of all our autobiography, everybody's autobiography, I am so great, I am so great, everybody, all good, all those things. This is the fellow, hero. This is the Ahankara fellow. For the Vedantic purposes, whoever identifies I am, he may be humblest fellow. That's Ahankara too, that I am so humble. I am Bhakta, I have surrendered also. That is Ahankara there. So he is putting only different hats only. From now on, I am Chinmaya Mission member. Another ahankara only, another hat. So hats keep changing only, things will not change unless I examine what the contents of that is. Intent is, I am a conscious entity, this is unconscious entity, I am not this, I am pure without any qualifications that I add on. I can add on afterwards for tamasha, for show. That's a different thing. But as I understand that those are only vesham. Vesham means costume. In the Upanishad, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi himself says, Isha jiva yoho vesha dhibidha sattva bhavato vastu kevalam. I don't know if you remember. We took that also. So Ishaha, Jivaha, Veshaha only Vedam. Vesham is the costume that you are wearing and the God is wearing. Only Vesham difference only. The essence of both is only one. Same. Sattva, Bhavato, Vastu. Kevalam only one. And costumes you can wear for the drama. Whenever you are playing a drama, you can wear costumes depending upon the roles that you are taking. Today, I am taking role of a father. So play the role of a father. I am playing the role of a mother. Play the role of a mother. I am playing the role of an employee. Play the role of an employee. Don't mix these roles also. Don't go to an employment and play the role of husband there. Problem is when you mix all the scenes get mixed up and the drama gets confused. Play a good actor. Playing a good action is very demand. Otherwise people start throwing stones at you, right? That's why it happens. So playing is not a problem. Veshakam is a problem. As long as I deliberately wear that Vesham is costume that I am wearing for the show. That is the roles that I am playing. But other than that, who am I who is independent of the roles? If you go to Telugu cinemas, you will see same fellow acting both hero and heroine, hero and villain also there. N.T. Ramarao is a hero and N.T. Ramarao as a villain fighting each other. Crazy. that occurs mostly in Telugu cinemas. But who is N.T. Ramarao? He is neither a hero nor a villain also. He is some other fellow who is really the guy. That shifting attention to the original one beyond the roles is the knowledge itself. So, yatra udeti sarvam. When I, as ahankara, gets up, all other world comes in. When the first person comes, the second person, third person, everybody comes. When I shift my attention to the very moolam, the substantive, the very source from which the first, second, third persons are coming, when the first person comes, everything else is coming. So where is the first person coming from? From the mixture of this Atma and Anatma, and I am not Anatma, but I am the Atma itself, because I am, we start. And once you understand it, that ahankara inquiry, where the ahankara originates, and that is the realization or a vichara or inquiry into the real nature of myself. Go ahead.
Deho na janati sato na janma.
Deho na janati sato na janma.
Deha pramanonya udeti madhye.
Deha pramanonya udeti madhye.
Aham kriti granti vibandha sukshma.
Aham pratikrandi vibandha sudma.
Sharira cheto bhavajivanama. Bhavajivanama. Deho na janati sato na janma. Deha pramanonya udeti madhye. Aham kriti granti vibandha sukshma. Sharira cheto bhavajivanama.
So everybody start claiming, say, I'm born on such and such a date and so on. Who says that? Deha, the body doesn't know. Deha na janati. It says, the body is being inert, it cannot do anything. You living in the body is doing all the things, right? So body itself is, when you leave this body, it will be that matter there, nothing happens. Somebody has to burn it, otherwise it will start sinking. Bharya bibhyati. Even the wife also becomes a problem. Here in this case, police will come and take it out to make sure they give it. No, they will wait until you remove the body. And Sadaha, the truth, the existence has no birth also. If it has a birth, then we ask what was there before it was born. If something was there or is there before, that means there was existence, something else was existing before this existence came. That existence exists, and that existence only we are talking about. So, na udeti na astameti, neither it's born nor it can end. So that itself cannot say, I am born. Neither the body can say I am, nor the real I am can say I am born such and such. Then in between, who is the guy suddenly taking some vesham and entering into this show? Swami Chinmayananda had a very, very beautiful example. So one child, he was at home, and the daughter was giving, he gave a son, but I'm changing it, daughter for something. Daughter was giving, bothering him, why daddy, why this, and he has some work to do. So he wanted to keep her engaged. So he took some newspaper and cut it into different pieces and say, hey, this is a puzzle, why don't you assemble it? Then cut it into a lot of pieces and make assemble. I thought it will take some time so that he can concentrate on his work. So, and this girl is a smart girl. She assembled so quickly and brought it. Daddy, I'm ready. Says, you did, how could you do? He was so happy that one side he was happy, that his daughter is so brilliant that she could assemble so quickly. Other side, of course, he's worried about his work that need to be finished. Says, how could you do it so fast? It's very simple, Daddy. You cut it one side, but the other side of the paper, there is the photo of this Aishwarya Rai. I know her nook and corner. So, I know everything about Aishwarya Rai because I see every time, all the time, only that my idol is that. So I just turned the other side, assembled Aishwarya Rai quickly, and if you turn this side, this is your puzzle. One side is our ahankara, other side is the world. One side is both sides of the coin come together. So when I try to inquire what is ahankara, even the other side also disappears. When ahankara, so when I notion goes away, you and he also notions also dropped out automatically. For find out who that I is before you try to inquire everything else. And that ahankara itself is mixture, remember, all the two of things. where this is a pseudo entity who has no validity by himself. When you try to inquire his validity, himself disappears. What is there is the entity I am, and all this not I am. Reject what I am not, establish yourself what you are. That is the essence of Vedanta. So deho na janati satam janma deha pramanosya udeti madhye. Madhye in between is arising as if I am of the limited by this body. Pramana, this much of is me. And ahankruti, this ahankara, says grandhi, it is like a knot. It's a knot, is a very naughty thing. That's why it's called a knot. And why it is a knot? It is joining two things. That's why it's a knot. When you join two things, you need a knot, right? And one side is Atma, another side Anatma, are joined together, and this bond joined together ages and ages ago. Punarapi Jaranam, Punarapi Maranam says the lives and lives. So this rusted. Knot is so rusted, it's not easy to dismantle this one. That's why it is not. Actually, the word comes from the Bruhada, from the Mundaka Upanishad that Swamiji took. That's where the Grandhi comes. It says, so it is such a naughty thing, and it occurs in. So this is because of any fugitive, the soda guys, the cheaters, right? They are the cheaters who they always wear different vesham everywhere. So this guy takes all sorts of costumes in every time so that he cannot be detected very easily. So he is having a lot of names also. In every name he puts a different name. So he gives you different names here. Ahankruti, Grandhi, Vibandha, it's a real bondage itself because it's ingrued in it. And Sukshma Sariram, the first name it's called is, this is same as Sukshma Sariram. The subtle body contains the four aspects of it, the mind, the intellect, ahankara is there as a part of the subtle body. Aham means I notion, I am this is a notion in the mind only. That's why it travels with the mind everywhere, all the lokas and everywhere it will be traveling around. And that's called, he calls it the Sukshma Sariram. Chetaha as a mind itself, that's another name. Bhava, Bhubhav, that which becomes all sorts of things. All the suffering, everything that is the Bhavasagaram, we call it. The one, please take me out of this, the samsara sagaram. That's what is the ahankara part. Jiva is that as I am the individual. And all these things, nama, it says different names it occupies depending upon the situations, but this is the pseudo guy. There is no way you can fight with the pseudo guys. All you have to do is inquire into the validity of the pseudo guy. Ramana Maharshi himself gives an example. In India we have a marriage, Kalyana Mandapams. And one fellow is a notorious guy. He goes into the every marriage and enjoys there. So he goes around and moves around in the marriage, and the bride party thinks that this fellow is from the other party. Other party thinks this fellow is from the bride party. Neither he belongs to this party, nor belongs to the other party. And he even says, hey, bring Stefan, all that. He orders everybody and enjoys every marriage and all going around. But he has no validity of neither of the party. Only when both of them together and inquire, hey, who are you? Do you belong to this party or that party? So let me go to bathroom, I'll come back. So he will never come back. So that is essentially the ahankar grandhis. So it's very subtle. Sukshma Sariram means it is very subtle. Therefore, it is very subtle to get rid of also. So that one has to be careful. I'm waiting for a signal, so don't worry about it. Okay, let's go. Next one.
Rupodbhavo rupatati pratishto.
Rupodbhavo rupatati pratishto.
Rupashano dhutagrihita rupaha.
Rupashano dhutagrihita rupaha.
Swayam virupaha swavicharakale. Virupaha swavicharakale. Davatyahankara pishasha eshaha. धावत्यहङ्कारपिशाच एषः रूपोद्भवो रूपततिप्रतिष्ठो रूपाशनो धूतगृहीतरूपः स्वयं विरूपः स्वविचारकाले धावत्यहङ्कारपिशाच एषः.
Bhagavan calls this ahankara as a pisacha. Pisacha means a ghost. Ghost has no validity unless you are afraid of the ghost, right? You are seeing all sorts of things, there is a ghost. But actually it is a post there. But you project a ghost there. So this analogy is used in the example in the Adhyasa Bhashya. The criticism of Shankara's Adhyasa Bhashya is, I am seeing a snake there where there is a rope. I don't know, I won't get into the detail, but let me, since I got it anyway. I am seeing a snake there where there is a rope. Then the Nayayika means there are logicians, there are a group of people, Nyaya Vaiseshikas they're called. They come into picture, sir, you are seeing the snake. Was it a real snake or a false snake? Of course, it's a rope, that's why it's false. But you must have seen a real snake before for you to see false snake here. So there must be a real snake somewhere that you saw before that you are projecting here. So if you are using this analogy, if you say the world is false, there must be real world somewhere else that you have seen and projecting here. So why do you say there must be some real world there? No. Shankara says not necessary. Even the other snake also false snake. Need not be real snake, the other snake also false snake. But even the false snake should have real. How can you have? There should be some real snake in the beginning, first time. There should be real snake. No, that false snake was based on another false snake. Child will see. Movie you can see snakes going there. There's not real snake. It's only light, light on the TV. If it's a real snake, you won't be in the house. You will get rid of the TV. So it's only. But he has an imagination about it. So that's why that example says there is a sadrishyam. That's called the technical word. There is a similarity between what you're projecting and what you're projecting. Otherwise, I don't project an elephant there on the rope. There is a similarity between the rope and the snake. That's called sadrishyam. There is a similarity in these two. And therefore, there must have been object with that attributes. And without going into a lot of details of this projection business or how errors arise. But suppose I see a ghost where there is a post. Not that there is a real ghost somewhere. I have heard stories of ghosts. Remember there's a Gasper, the children use watch, good ghosts. I mean, those are project. There is not real ghost story. It is some ghost that you project as a picture and then project it, and then that becomes a story itself. So I can project a false one like a ghost, which is not really real, has no basis of reality. Still, I can project it, and it can frighten me also. Ghost, which never there any time, can be there right now there and cause me problems, right? So here it says pisachaha aisha. This is like a pisachi. Why? It is always changing multitude of times. Rupam. Every vesham he is wearing, every time it's changing. I am a father, I am a mother, I am this, I am that. All roles that you are playing all the time. But you take I am that only suffer the roles problem as my problem all the time. It says, Rupodbhavo, Rupam Tadi Pratishtha, Rupasana. It keeps on eating on the Rupam. It survives on Rupam. And that ignorance itself, it is surviving. Who is feeding? Because I don't know what is real, therefore I keep on projecting. If I don't know that it is really a post, I can see all sorts of ghosts there frightening me all the time until I see the reality that it is only a post, not a ghost. Then there is no more ghost. Once I see, if I'm projecting, then I may have a different problem. So until I see the reality behind that what I am seeing, then I get carried away what I am seeing and get frightened, because this is the one that keeps changing its roles all the time. From the childhood on, all the way to the death, you are changing all the time the roles continuously without even noticing. You are a student, you are this, every role that you are playing in every scene, if you can imagine yourself, stand apart and look at the role that you are playing, you solve the problem there. You can play, roles have no problem. You can play the role with the knowledge that you are playing a role. If you don't have the knowledge that you are playing a role but get carried away with the role, then you have a role's problems become your problem. So, you have a problem as a wife, or you have a problem as a husband, you have a problem as a daughter, you have a problem as a son, you have a problem, all problems of the roles become your problem when you identify myself, I am that particular role only, not the actor that is playing these different roles at all. The ignorance of my true nature makes the whole problem real problem. I do not have any problem to start with, but I make a problem out of it, and that becomes a problem only. If I understand the essence of this clearly, so he says, if I try to inquire the validity of this guy who is falsifying all the time, which is nothing but the mithya, sudden mixing of these things and coming with these different veshams, if I strip out all the veshams that he is wearing, which is veshams is attributes that he is carrying all the time in every scene, if I strip out everything else, look at him, who is this guy? Catch hold of him, the fellow will run away, leaving. That means fellow means all these strips out that you are carrying, because he has no validity. He is only living on the guy, that other guy who is saying that I am belong to this guy, this party or that party, and enjoying every marriage. But he has no validity he doesn't belong to any one of them. If you catch hold of him, he will run away. He will go to bathroom, right? So he will run away from this scene. Same way, if I try to catch hold of this, there is no validity of it at all. And what remains is that which is beyond all the roles. That is the absolute truth. So other one is only Pisacham. But Pisacham has a substantive. So with that, we will stop. We are getting a signal that the food is ready.